Good morning, cousin. Full disclosure, I am fracking on one this morning. I've already gone on several rants to the point that Morgana and I are talking about maybe filming our morning coffee sessions together, because I sit and do this so much. Like I said yesterday, I'm an oracle and I wake up just spouting off at the mouth in one way or another. And today, is something so fracking controversial that it's and the problem is that I've already spouted this off. And the way that my mind works is that once it's out, it's done and move on to the next thing. And it doesn't work very well. Only the people that are closest to me actually know where I'm at with things. And we have been, okay. I have been on one about the men folk. I've been on one about the men folk right now, and I'm not even entirely sure how much context is needed for me to be able to effectively communicate this. Morgana's laughing. To effectively communicate this. When we found out that on our big red play button platform, we have 70% people that identify as male, which is mind-boggling, because the kind of work that I do, the kind of work that I engage in, the kind of work that I support people in is stuff that is terrifying to most men. They don't do it because it's deeply emotional, it's deeply embodied. And we have, in the 5 years that we have been doing foundations, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is the foundation of a deconstructed magical practice, right? And we have had 5 men make it through foundations. And it's because it is challenging. It is a fast track for a decade of shadow work, deconstruction work, decolonization work crammed into a year. It is a fully embodied, very, very well supported program, and it terrifies the menfolk because it requires you to be a brave communicator and communicating about your inner world with others. It is a foundation for you to actually be able to return to community, which is a whole different thing. And so I'm sitting here thinking about 70% male viewers. Maybe we need a male-centered fracking program. at through Bright and Dark Center. And you know what? No, we don't. What we need is men that are brave enough to do the fucking work. Show up or sit down. It's getting to the point in these magical spaces that it is very obvious what men have done this internal work and who hasn't. And those that haven't, see, the problem is that most queer identifying or female magical practitioners started doing this work years ago. And our realities are becoming so different. It is so obvious. The men that have not done this work and want to teach or facilitate magical space for those that have done the work. If it wasn't so fracking tragic, it would be comical at this point. And it's deeply saddening to me because I genuinely and wholeheartedly believe that in order for us to return to community, like it'd be super great if some men folk would join us in this reality that we're creating. It'd be great. But at this point, we're leaving you behind. We are leaving you behind. We don't want it, but you're choosing this. You're choosing that it's easier for you to continue engaging in a life that you don't even like than it is for you to show up to a meeting with a bunch of other magical practitioners and talk about your goddamn feelings. On one. You guys can do this. I believe in you. I believe that you are capable of doing this, but it's going to require you to be brave in a way you have never been. You have never been required to be brave in this way specifically, but it is absolutely required in order for us all to return to community, to change where we're headed. Actually, we're already headed toward community. It's whether or not you're coming with us that's the question at this point. And I want you to. I want you to. But you know what happens? And it's like if the men don't like give up before even really engaging fully and sincerely in the work, they either give up, decide it's not for them, or they need some specially curated something that centers their experience in order for them to do this work. No, you don't. You need to come as a peer, as a student, or especially those who are experienced occultists. They want to come into a group of deconstructed magical practitioners and teach them something that they haven't done, and they haven't done that like deconstruction work. They haven't done that deep internal work. They look foolish. I don't want that for you. You have to do the inner work because, again, it is becoming so very clear who has and who has not. You can't come in as a teacher if you don't even know the perspective of those you are teaching. That to me tells me that you're more interested in what you have to say than meeting them where they're at. And that is a product of your conditioning. That is one of the bits that needs to be deconstructed. It's a whole thing. And, there's a part of me that's like, what do I got to do to get more men involved? No, I'm not going to. No, it's time for you to meet us halfway. I refuse to invest in people that are not willing to invest in themselves. I refuse to. I don't have time. I'm busy working with the people that are doing the work and doing phenomenal things that you wouldn't believe me if I just said. I have to show you, and I know that, but to show you requires cameras and all of that stuff. Anyway, there are so many male practitioners that have incredible giftings, that they will never have a right relationship with because they're so trapped in what they're doing. So many. It's sad. It's tragic. And then here's another thing, is that I know, because of the way that most men are conditioned and engaged with, that if I engage with a male practitioner in the same way that I do the female or queer identifying practitioners that come to me that I work with every single day, if I engage with them the same way, they're going to think I'm fracking mean. They're going to think I'm mean. I'm not. I'm direct. And I do not have time to frack around. And so I have to engage with them with fluffy gloves. I don't fucking know. I have to be extra gentle and coddle you. You deserve better than that. Do you want to be coddled or do you want to show the fuck up? Are you going to be a part of this? Because we are leaving you behind. The train is leaving the station. Are you getting on? And do you have the spine to stay the course? Or are you going to give up as soon as you are not centered, or as soon as you have to share and communicate your feelings? Your feelings are not your enemy. I know you've been taught this. I know that you have been taught this. But there comes a point in your practice, there comes a point in your life that you have to acknowledge that, oh, just because I've been taught something doesn't mean it's fracking real. Or the best way. Okay, I love you guys. I really do. I really do. I genuinely, I want it so bad, but I am so sick of being the Wendy for a bunch of lost boys. I am so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. You can do better. And it is not my responsibility to make sure you are comfortable in the process. This is not a comfortable process. I warned you guys. I'm on one this morning and I'm trembling. I need to this is what it looks like to calm your nervous system. So while I calm my nervous system, I believe that Ocean, our moderator for the day, has a voice of God announcement. Take it away, Ocean.
Hello, yes, thank you. This is Ocean as the voice of God. This week at the Resource Center, we have Magic Moves on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Pacific Time and 9 a.m. Eastern, which is a 45-minute movement offering from the Unbound. This class is designed to wake up the body, lift the spirit, and connect us as a community. And that is Wednesday at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 a.m. Eastern. On Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern, we have the live grimoire reading with Q&A session to follow. Jen Marie will read from the grimoire, and then the members of the Unbound Coven will take questions. You'll find the virtual event in our free app at community.brightanddark.org, and that's Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Pacific Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. On Sunday, March 8th, we have our monthly ritual rave at 11 a.m. Pacific Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a radically inclusive magical working that uses movement to create and direct energy. No dance experience needed to benefit from this free community offering. And that is Sunday, March 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find all of these events and more in our app at community.brightanddark.org. This has been the Voice of God announcements with Ocean. Thank you. Back to you, Jen Marie.
So, fun fact. I can't actually hear Ocean or any of the mods when they're doing the Voice of God announcements. For once, I can't hear the inside information, but you guys can. So I rely heavily on gestures from the mods. So, all right. I know that was a lot for a Monday morning. Welcome to my world. You wouldn't be here if you weren't into it. So let's start our reading. It's inevitable that it's tied, whatever I rant about is tied into the reading in one way or another, and there's lots of reasons why that is. So I'm genuinely curious about what is going to be, where our attention needs to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice. That's the question. I am going to do what I do to get my system prepared for divination, to get the clearest channel. And you do what you do. And then we're going to meet together and we're going to pull a couple of cards. You are going to be as much a part of this divination ceremony as I am. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm centering you in this experience and not setting up a space that makes it to where you become dependent on my relationship with my intuition. Oh, Renee, hi. Hey, girl, hey. All right. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space. For our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. And now we make a declaration of intention. What are we doing? I choose now, in this moment, to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power, and I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour, because I am home. grab your decks and spread them, witches. Let's do this. Baxter decided that he wants to lay right here. That's what this, like, if you can see the white fluff, that's Baxter. And I'm trying really hard not to like elbow him because he holds a grudge and I won't hear about it for the rest of the day. Witch drama. See, he knows I'm talking about him. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? I'm gonna drop my cards is what's going to happen. One more time. Where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? Okay, so before I even draw a card, like what came through before I even picked up the cards is, would you even know joy if you, like, it knocked on your door? Would you even know what like bliss and joy is? Damn, what a precursor. Like, this fucking heavy Monday. Jeez. Okay, now let's get into it. I'm going to put my glasses on because I'm going to read the prompt that's on the card while you sit and brew on that. Because remember the question, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life? And we drew the 10 of Wands reversed. Stop taking the weight of the world on your shoulders and learn to delegate a share of the work. You're feeling the beginning stages of burnout, so invest in your mental health. The 10 of Wands may also be telling you that now is a good time to purge, declutter, and simplify your life, and you'll find benefit from better organization. And the 10 of Wands upright, because it's about the whole card. You're almost there. You may have unconsciously or consciously taken on extra responsibilities, but you know that the blood, sweat, and tears you've put in are about to pay off. Interesting. So brew on that. Think about it. This card represents a facet of your relationship with your life that needs your attention. What are they talking about? Okay. Are you ready? So, funny thing about accomplishments is that in manifestations, right? A harvest, even big harvest, right? You've put in all this work and the harvest is at hand. The accomplishment has shown up. Like, the thing about it is that with a harvest comes a responsibility. It doesn't end at the harvest. There is a responsibility to, like, see it through, right? If your dream is, I want to build community. Well, if you accomplish building community, that means you're responsible for a community too, right? But we get so caught in, I want to build community part, right? We get so caught in the, I got to make it happen, that by the time it manifests, which it does, it dies off because you don't have any juice left. You don't have anything left. You've used everything that you are to bring that into fruition, and you didn't account for aftercare. You didn't account for rest. You didn't account for rehabilitation. You didn't have a sustainable practice during the manifestation period for sustainability, right? So, like I've said frequently, this year is gonna, not only is it gonna go really quickly, but everything that we invest in is just gonna pop off. Okay. You establishing, so there's a few boundaries that the 10 of Wands is actually really talking about. And that is the decluttering of it. Be mindful of what you take responsibility for. You don't have to do all of it. In what ways can you enlist help? In what ways can you delegate? A lot of us get stuck in that, oh, it'll be faster if I just do it. No, we need you to have juice left in the tank when this all, comes to manifestation. You might be able to do it now, but oh man, it's so satisfying when I actually find the cat hair and pull it off. You might be able to do it, but just because you can doesn't mean you should, right? And you're being pretty short-sighted about it when you're like grinding so hard that you're not allowing the space for your mental health, for actual rehabilitation during this time. What are you doing when you are resting? Are you dissociating, or are you actually allowing rest without guilt or shame? So it doesn't count if you guilt and shame yourself through the whole process of resting. Okay? You're still human, and staying incarnated is a part of what we're doing here. If you disregard the fact that you have a physical body, a physical expression to also take into consideration, then like, what are you doing? Your hard work is going to pay off. Success is inevitable. The state that you will be in when you pull that in is completely up to you. That's it. No big. Okay. So right before this full moon that we've got going on, think about ways that you can declutter your responsibilities. Anything that isn't a frack yes is a no. Okay. Anything that is not like an enthusiastic yes, this is perfectly aligned, it's a no. Even if that's, I told my friend I would take them to the airport, right? as long as you give them enough notice to find another ride, like, don't be an asshole, but don't be a yes man either. You don't have time to be a yes man, a yes guy, people pleasing yes person, because you have medicine that you're bringing to the world. It's important. All right. I can see some witches that are in foundations commenting in the chat. We dive, once you get through foundations, the guild has their own, like, they have their own workbooks, but they have their own like curriculum as well. And we do a whole month on our relationship with rest specifically because it's such a big thing. And what is rest? Dissociation is not rest. So it's a whole thing. That's a lie. It was a lie that we were all told that if we just sit and dissociate, that's the same as resting. No, it's not. And especially if you weren't guilting and shaming yourself the entire time you were doing it, maybe it might be. But I know you. So back to your practice for the day. Ooh, Heather says that I see someone standing back to admire the well they dug. Now it's time to work together to draw the water. Right. And if you completely plowed through and put in all of everything to make that well, and you don't even have anything left in the tank to help draw the water, like, we need you there to let us know how the well works. Okay. Now we got to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing our ability to see this clearly. In other words, blocking our stuff. The Queen of Wands reversed. Heather does always have great insight. If Heather isn't already currently a reader, like, dude, what are you doing? You're very gifted. Okay, so the Queen of Wands reversed is the Queen of Wands may be telling you to work on your self-confidence. You're feeling overwhelmed and moody. Pull inward and reflect on your situation, and be sure to listen to your intuitive gut, standing strong in your conviction, even if others are having a difficult time believing in you. Again, what you're in resistance to or in denial of. And the upright is you're finding yourself to be self-aware and confident as you're discovering your life's purpose. You know what you want and how to get it. Stay laser focused and keep that friendly, optimistic attitude. It'll serve you well. So what does that mean for you? It's interesting. Got like 3 different directions I can run with this. And I'm trying to feel which one is the most highlighted. So are you in resistance or denial of the fact that you're insecure and moody these days? Like, that's kind of what that it's almost like the gold is in the moodiness and in the insecurity, if that makes any sense. And you turning away from the fact that you're moody and insecure right now is what's keeping you from being able to actually release the things that are not meant for you so that you can actually go all in on this 10 of wands, like put in the effort that's needed because you haven't quite crossed the finish line yet. There's still work that needs to be done, you know? Being an insecure, moody bitch doesn't make you a bad person. It means that you've got a lot going on. It means you got a lot going on. And the other thing is that your standards of competence are a little fucking skewed. You're not compassionate with yourself. Because this 10 of wands is like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. There's a lot going on. It's going to take a lot to make it happen. And if you've taken on too much, you're not going to be able to show up in a way that you're proud of. Right? And that makes you an insecure, moody bitch. Of course it does. So rather than sit in denial of the fact that you are kind of dropping the ball a little bit, acknowledge the fact that you're dropping the ball because you've taken on too much. And that, again, doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you might be a people-pleasing yes person, but it doesn't make you a bad person. And Heather says it's very okay to acknowledge your gaps because there's someone waiting to fill them. Yes. And if you sit in this, like, I can do it all myself, and you're not doing it well, not as well as like you could do it. If you're sitting in denial of that, you're only going to perpetuate this unsustainable approach to what you're doing. You are cutting yourself off at the knees or your potential, right? It's okay to admit that you're clumsy. It's okay to admit that you took on too much and now you're frustrated. But this is like saying that your confidence is tanking. You're looking at this like, I'm a failure. You're not a failure. You're dropping the ball because you took on too much. That's it. All right. There's no way. And I know that we can do some superhuman stuff as neurodivergent magical practitioners. We can do incredible things, especially if someone tells us we can't. Especially if we have any doubters, we will show up like Superman and friggin' like level everything. Like that's just the way that we are. But we're working together now. So you don't have to do that. Like it's great. Do what you want to do, of course. But we're working together now. All right, guys. What are you doing that you can choose not to do? Where can someone else pick up the slack so that you can show up in a way that you're proud of, in a way that is sustainable, so that you don't completely tap yourself by harvest. You don't get extra points for can I say that? I don't know if I can say that. You don't get extra points for destroying your physical incarnation, getting this thing done. You don't get extra points doing it by yourself. In fact, depending on your own personal gnosis, you can get extra points if you work with others. If you get over yourself and start working with others. Yeah, so pokey. I know. All right. Happy Monday. I have a day full of meetings today. Full of meetings. But that's a typical Monday, the Resource Center. And then I have a day off. I have a day off where I can rest and rehabilitate. All right. Let's close out this working. And I will see you. Okay, if you ditch on the magic moves, dancing with us on Wednesday, if you decide that, oh, I'm not going to do it because blah, 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 whatever, insert your excuse here for coming and dancing with us in the morning. If you don't do that, which is free and open to the public, and if you also don't come to the grimoire reading Wednesday afternoon, that is also free and open to the public, then I will see you on Friday. But hopefully we'll be able to engage a lot more. You can be a part of this. You just have to choose to show up. That's it. All right. Hand on your heart. Take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, I now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. All right, cousins. See you later. And until then, if you can't be good at it.